All right, tell us about the time you ran into an ex while you're with your partner, and it was really awkward. And you're like, and then we want to know how that went down and like how everyone reacted. 800-682-1075. It happens. Jason, I know it recently happened to you in the most unlikely of places while you're with your wife. You ran into an ex-girlfriend. And by the way, if you're new to the show, he grew up in Rhode Island. So this is very unusual.
Highly unlikely that this happened.
Yeah, it is ironic that I am from Rhode Island, and years ago, I moved all over, and then I'm here, and my ex-girlfriend, my first true girlfriend, lives in the same town.
That is so
That's crazy.
Of all the places on earth.
Did you follow her here?
No.
Did she follow you?
Did she follow you?
She's had a little bit
I-
of Jay Good and couldn't get enough.
She got just a taste.
Yeah.
So it is weird. But, so we were going on vacation, and we got up at,
You and your wife, not you and your ex-girlfriend.
Right.
You and your wife.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going on vacation with my wife, Carol. We go to the airport at 5 o'clock in the morning. We get to the airport. I walk into the airport, and boom, all of a sudden I see somebody that looked familiar, and she turns to Carol first and says, I thought I recognized that beautiful person right there. And she came up, and Carol kind of knows her because I told her about her. And I think like 15 years ago, like one night we were all at the same bar. And she goes up to Carol and gives her a hug.
Oh.
Wow.
Your threesome is going to
Did
be
you get a little aroused, Jason?
Yeah. Jason, his three ways coming.
Two worlds colliding.
In the airport with a chub.
So this ex-girlfriend was like, oh, hey.
Yes.
He's like, I shouldn't have worn Umbros.
She's very, very nice, and she's there with her daughters, and I believe her husband was somewhere, but not there at the time. And we walk into the airport, and all that happens, and she turns around. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Liddy. That's and I'm like, I love those types of awkward situations. So I'm like looking at Carol like a little like trying to put it together. She doesn't know exactly who she is, but Lee's coming up, and she's giving her a hug. And you know how Carol has the RBF.
Well, yeah, we've heard. We've heard a time or two, yeah.
We've seen.
Yeah.
She suffers.
We've seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I turn on, I'm like, oh, and I'm just smiling because I think it's just so funny that right before we go on vacation, I run to my girlfriend from Rhode Island, an ex-girlfriend from Rhode Island.
What are the odds?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're like, it's kind of a smaller airport. So Lee's like, oh, so where are you going? We're like, oh, we're going to Mexico. We can't wait and this and that. And I turn around and say, well, where are you going? And Lee goes, Wyoming. We want to take a look at the beautiful mountains. I'm like, oh, we have somebody that works at the station that goes there, and they say some of the beautiful. And I'm like, oh, wow. But she's like, we just got some snow because it's hot. And my wife turns around and goes, who wants to take vacation when it's cold?
So ex-girlfriend's like real nice to your wife.
Perfect.
And then Carol's being rude to the ex-girlfriend.
Point on right there.
Yeah.
And I turned to Carol. I'm like, you just said to her, like, I'm looking at her like, you just
You're
like
going
said,
on
who the hell wants
vacation.
to go on vacation in the cold? Well, obviously they do.
Yeah, they paid for it.
They're excited about it.
She actually pulled a Jason. She dumped on someone's dreams.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. She's learning from you.
You're rubbing off on her more ways,
match made in
more ways
heaven.
than one. Yeah.
So we get, do the little chat or whatnot.
Sure.
And then me and Carol have to go to check in one of the bags. And I'm like, you just kind of made fun of her vacation. She goes, no, I didn't. I was just saying I wouldn't want to do that.
That's,
Like, okay. Well,
that's making fun. Yeah.
So I'm like, you jelly? She,
Did you say jelly?
Nice.
Jelly.
Yeah.
and let me tell you, she's like, no, I'm not. You know how she'll get like, I am not jealous. Why? I'm like, well, you're acting like, I'm like, no, I'm not. You're just going to be like this. So I had to remind her that it was my first girlfriend in middle school.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
Sure,
Yeah.
things are-
you're my one and only, my true.
The most
you
impressionable
know.
love of your life.
Or as Jason does a lot, he introduces Carol as his first wife.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I have a
You're-
new one too. I sometimes introduce Carol as my ex-girlfriend.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, yeah,
Where did
yeah.
I get that word?
yeah.
Technically, they're your ex-girlfriend because
so.
they're now your wife.
Yeah.
Technically.
I like that. I like that.
Former fiance.
Yeah. There you go.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
That's very awkward.
Yeah, so we waited in line. Then with the security check line, I noticed, like, how the zigzag, so you kind of go by the person. after that multiple
Oh
times.
yeah, that's always so awkward.
Then it's
Oh
awkward.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Hey
yeah.
again.
Mhm. Hi. Oh hey.
Every time they
Hi.
walk by, he's like, I miss you.
Call me later.
See what I'm
Okay?
dealing with? Oh my God. I'm
I
kidding.
loved it.
Did you, Jason?
Yeah.
Did you, after you ran into your ex-girlfriend in the airport with your wife,
Yeah.
and your ex-girlfriend approached your wife and
Yeah.
gave her a hug? Did you guys hug?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
You and
just
Carol?
wondering.
A quick,
Yeah.
Did you grab her butt when your hand was back there?
Jason and his ex-girlfriend to say hello. Did
Yes.
they hug?
Oh, I thought they
Yeah.
already had. Okay, great.
Yeah, right.
Just
after
wondering.
She hugged Carol 1st, which
Mhm.
was a smart move, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it shouldn't really matter, but it was still. And then she.
That's
then-
smart
Yeah.
move, yeah.
I mean, it is middle school.
Right.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
know that.
but still could be a little awkward.
Right.
I
Still
think
could
it was
be.
my first, if I'm not mistaken, first make-out kiss, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You should have asked her.
Oh.
Yeah.
So remember
Hey.
that time your tongue was down my throat?
You were trying to steal cigs from somebody? That's very awkward. So 800-682-1075, it's happened.
Yeah.
Tell us about the time you're with your partner, your current partner now, or partner, and you ran into an ex. 800-682-1075. Let's go to Bruce. Bruce, go ahead.
Yeah, I ran into my ex-wife at a church event. I think it was like a trunk or treat because I had my kid with me.
Mhm.
And we'd already been divorced for a while. But when she seen me, she had a panic attack.
Legit?
Why a panic attack?
Because she's got mental problems.
Allegedly.
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 Were you with your
You don't have to
girlfriend?
say that.
So you're who?
I was with my girlfriend at the time. We're married now.
Mhm.
I
And
see.
she was already remarried. She remarried 6 months after the divorce.
Okay. But she
And her husband disappeared when he seen me and left her there with everybody else. He took the vehicle and left.
He left her?
Wow.
He left.
You stay.
Enjoy the trunk or treat. I'm getting out of
No
here.
wonder she had a panic attack.
I will
You
tell you
gotta walk
this.
I
home.
don't have
Yeah.
a ride.
It's very, very odd, I think. And it's uncomfortable, but it's you know why I think it's so uncomfortable? Because the other person is judging the other person. Like, huh,
Yeah.
that's who that person used to be with. Am I better than them or not?
Right.
Either guy or girl, same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Oh no. It's,
Yeah.
it's definitely
Yeah.
for sure. For
Mhm.
sure. 800-682-1. Thank you, Bruce. 800-682-1075. Tell us about the time.
Did he come back? Did her husband come back to get her?
Eventually, I guess.
Because I would have a panic attack if I thought I had to get a ride home.
Yeah.
It's so odd. That's an odd story.
And that's her husband at the time? Like, what a horrible husband. He just got that scared.
Or he was smart.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
But
This is going to be a
there's
fight.
Probably a lot more of the story on that
yeah,
one.
yeah. There's a lot
Bruce
of
sounds
missing.
like he might throw down a
Yes.
little bit here and
Yeah.
there. He might have a switchblade on him or something.
Yeah.
You know what the funny part is about the whole thing?
What?
It happens probably more frequently than we ever know because we noticed it on social media. It happened once to me before with Carol. Another girlfriend I'm with asked her in the car when we were at David Copperfield and she got called up on stage.
Oh, that's
I didn't
right.
run into her in person,
Yeah,
but she was
but-
there. It was
yeah.
awkward.
Does this count
Yeah.
when I married Kelly and we were going to the same church as Heather, my first wife?
I think it
I'd
does.
say
Hey,
so.
probably
and we
'cause
sat,
you-
and
yeah.
we sat in the same aisle at first
Yes.
because
Yeah.
we're trying to do it for the kids.
Oh.
that
They
was
could.
very awkward.
That's
Oh.
That was very, and I'll give Kelly credit for that one because she
Yeah.
was like, okay, for the kids, we'll do it. And then like a couple times, even I was like, this is like weird. Now that people really do think we're polygamous.
Yeah, like these are my sister wives.
It was a long
Yeah.
pew.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
long pew. It was the middle pews, which are long.
Jared's
yeah.
right in the middle.
I'm like, hey, aren't you both so lucky?
You have your kids in the middle,
Yeah.
in between the two ex-wives.
Yeah, it's like who sits with who. And so we talked about it. She's like, can we not do that? I'm like, yes, we cannot. We can stop doing that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But, yeah.
I think that counts. I mean, and it's got to be very, very common, especially
Yeah.
if you grow up in the same town.
Yes.
And then you date a lot, and then you marry somebody from the same town. It's got to be.
Oh no! Recently, you
Gotta
know,
be.
I dated Anna for a year. We recently are no longer together, but we went out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Can you just tell me if we're running? If somebody's
Oh.
in the same room, I'm that way.
Oh.
I'd rather know than there be some shady, weird crap going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or like people acting
Yeah.
weird. I can say like something's off
I
here.
think
Yeah,
it's more
tell me.
important
Tell me.
for her to know so she could be like, please make sure you're take care of yourself. Don't have food on your face. Don't act a certain way." you know, it's more
Get the
embarrassing
food
for
out of
her.
your
right,
beard.
right. But even just recently, I was at the pool and there was some girl I went on a date with. She was sitting right there, and I'm like, "Oh no, this is awkward." And I'm trying to be like, "Hey, you don't want to ruin it. Like you're having a good time." Like, hey, you see that girl over there? I went on a date with her, and it's just
Yeah.
like kind of ruins it.
But dating,
but
though.
also, but if they come up and like, hey, how are you? Then you have to explain it. So I try to get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not an ex, but it's somebody you've been on dates with or
Yeah.
whatever. And so you just want to, hey, by the way, they're like 20 feet away from us for hours, So
Sure. I can see that. Because initially
being
I'm like, I don't
blindsided.
want to know.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, I guess I
Yeah.
guess knowledge is power, I suppose. But then I get in my head.
oh, I do too.
Get in my head about it.
I would love to see the day that Katie runs into Ben's ex and she's smoking hot.
Already happened. I mean, it's because I don't have any relationships here. I mean, yes, there were some guys that I dated, but like not serious with here. So it's like we never run into them. But Ben, Mr. Playboy, he's everywhere. was everywhere before,
Yeah.
and then I have been on numerous vacations and trips with one of his ex-girlfriends.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And in the beginning, I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
And
Wow,
then,
that is weird.
Because they dated in college.
That is weird.
Yeah, they dated in college, and I actually don't know how long, but they dated in college, maybe a year.
So they
Maybe.
definitely did it.
Yeah, I'm sure, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. And it was so then but like the way that it worked is that she was friends in the friends group.
Right.
And then I came in years later. I mean, there were girlfriends in between then that this one ex-girlfriend of his has been friends with all the guys forever and ever and ever. So I was just another one of Ben's girlfriends that came in,
Right.
And so
She won't be here long.
yeah, probably.
Did you ever?
Probably.
But she was she single? Like she wasn't married at the time,
No,
right?
she was single.
So she was
was
just
single, but
Yeah.
she was
Dang.
Did
so
you feel
ingrained in the friend
threatened?
group. No, I did not, because Ben and I were like hot and heavy in love. We were
Right,
in that
yeah.
phase.
Did you
Yeah.
wonder if she was better in bed than you were?
Do you now wonder?
Now I do. Oh, I can't wait to get you back for that.
What?
Oh, I can't wait to get you back for that.
And you will get him
Yes,
back.
I will.
No, there's-
I'll find a way.
Trust me, there's guys that I know that Carol's been with, like, yeah, he's much, probably bigger and better in bed with.
Bigger and better.
We do not talk like that, Ben and I. He's like, you're the only one I've ever been with,
Right,
ever in
of
my whole
course.
life. You're the only one.
We were
He's like-
both virgins.
He says, when
Yes.
I fell in love with you, there was no one else. There has been no one else. And I'm
Right.
like, that's right, because if I find out.
Yeah.
I walk by, I'm like, "Yep, just his looks are better in bed than
Oh yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it messes with your mind for
But
sure.
after a while, though, with the ex-girlfriend that he was with in college, and we've been on several trips, and she's now married and has kids and stuff, we actually are friends. And we're going to the
You
lake.
gotta keep a close eye on the enemy.
Yeah, that's right.
We're
Friends
going to the
close,
lake.
enemies closer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because then you realize that you're with who you're supposed to be with, you know?
basically have slept with her.
That's gross.
Basically,
That's
in one
gross.
form or another. It's fine.
Yeah. Ew.
Yeah.
That's fine,
You
yeah.
just gave Katie a complex.
If I do
A
not
new
have
one.
a complex now,
That's true.
If
You
I
already-
didn't before, I don't now.
You had already had one.
Yeah.
Let's go to Samantha. Samantha, tell us about the time you ran into an ex while with a partner.
Yes. Okay. So my ex was a male, so we're going to add this in here because it just adds
What?
to the story.
A male.
My ex was a male. Okay. I am now married to a female,
Okay.
Oh.
and
Jason's turned on.
my
Every
Partner
guy
at the
in here is
time.
turned on.
Depends.
Let her tell a
my
lipstick story.
partner
Can you talk a little
and I
softer and
went
slower?
out to a local.
Ew.
Yeah.
I'm married to a woman. No, slower. Slower. No, go ahead. Sorry.
My partner and I had went to listen to a local band at like a local bar, and my ex and his entire family, like I'm talking parents, brother, like
Oh, gosh.
was at this bar also listening to the same band, and my partner knows who they are and saw them, and decides to run across the dance floor like Magic Mike style and slide across the floor, and then just like do some moves coming up, right in front of the entire family, and I was mortified.
That is definitely more mortifying when if you're with an
good.
ex and the ex's entire family
Right.
is with there, and
And
you're
Yeah.
with
then
the
you
ex.
used to be straight, and now you're a lesbian. I mean, that's a lot to take in.
I feel like it wouldn't be as weird though, because you'd be like, well, clearly I'm not what they wanted.
But if you hadn't seen them and you're like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
See, I would
yeah.
turn to my friend and be like, see, you turned her lesbian.
Exactly. That's what
yeah.
I would be like. You were so bad in bed. She's
Yeah.
like,
That's what. Yeah. That's what.
That's
Yeah.
what you would say.
Your guy friend. Yeah.
Yep.
Samantha, are you still with this lady?
Yep, we are. We are been together 11 years.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay,
Very
yeah.
good story. Thank
We're
you.
married.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thanks.
And can you send some photos or for Squid? I meant.
Squid.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Squid only, yeah. He won't show us. I did have a friend that, one of my best friends, and I don't want to say too much, but he was married, had kids, and then he got divorced, and he was like devastated. And then the next time we saw his ex-wife, she was a lesbian, and it was just like shock. No one knew.
No one knew.
Really?
There was no rumor about anything. We're like, oh, that's her friend, and then somebody's like,
Oh.
they're like
Wow.
engaged. I'm like, wait, what? It's just when you know, and I knew her very well too. I knew her extremely well.
Uh-huh.
I was shocked.
I'm pretty certain that if me and Carol ever did break up, she would just go, I think I've ruined it for all the male species. I think she would go lesbian.
Yeah, I agree with
She's
that.
just like,
100%.
what is wrong with you people?
Yeah.
So I think she would.
I
Yeah.
probably would. I probably would encourage
Ruined
it. I'd be like,
it.
"Geez,
All the
look what
males.
you've been through.
I think she's halfway there
Yeah.
now. With some of the
You've
photos
been
that
through.
y'all post, it's like her and like 10 other women.
Yeah.
She's just keeping the family together at this point.
Just wait until you die.
You get to go on fun
She
trips.
said that. She actually said I literally.
Great minds, Carol.
She needed something at the pool, and I was going outside. And she's with a neighbor who was leaving. She's around at the pool, and all I hear them like laugh real loud. And as soon as I come back, everybody's like, "Oh!" Shh. I'm like, "What happened?" And I'm like, "Huh." And they all looked like there was these guilty faces, and they were literally talking about, "Yeah, if one of our husbands passed away, I would just go lesbian now. Because it's just easier and it's more relatable."
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
Right.
whatever.
Less hassle.
I guess the sex wasn't good.
Right. They get that nice life insurance check.
Man.
Boy.
What's not to like? She gets the house to
Vacation.
herself.
Well, she can get that and whatever she wants to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's true. What about you guys, Matt, Squid?
That just happened to me last night.
What?
Yeah.
Threesome.
I was at no. No, I was at dinner. We were probably one of like two different families in the restaurant. I've got family in from out of town. It was after Wyatt's T-ball game, and my wife was sitting with her back to the door, and one of her ex-boyfriends walked in.
Oh.
Yeah, and
And
she didn't realize it, and so I saw him instantly and knew who it was, and I was just kind of like, I can't wait for her to realize he's here.
Did you like walk up and like peacock next to him like, I've lost 90 pounds.
No, he's way more successful and better looking than
Oh,
me.
damn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I just kind of sat there and just waited, and then because there was hardly anybody in there, as soon as they start talking, she recognized the voice, and I just watched her face. She was like, "Oh, God."
no.
Yeah, but I would be more wondering how you were feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. She dated. I mean, she hasn't dated like a ton of people, but they all live within like 10 miles of my house. So this happens quite a bit for me. Like when we first started dating, her high school boyfriend and ex like walked her down an aisle in his sister's wedding because my wife and his sister were best friends.
Yeah, I guess
Oh, my
awkward.
goodness.
So Hannah was
Yeah.
in that wedding, and he walked her down the aisle, and here I am in the front row, just
There's my.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
That's great.
This is awesome.
Why don't you go in and
Super cool.
give her a little goose?
Oh
You know
yeah,
what
he's
you're doing.
successful. He was in the military, so he was really fit. And I'm just
my
like,
gosh.
my bow tie fits.
Yeah. I got skitty on my shirt.
I'm not as sweaty as I used to be.
You love my skating sauce.
That's awesome. Squid, I know you have very few exes. But
Yeah, I think I dodged a bullet one time. I came very close to doing it. So my most recent, I'll call her Keg Stand because she did a keg stand at Jason's.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Keg
Old
stand.
keg
Old
stand.
keg
Yeah,
stand.
so Keg Stand always wanted to see my ex, but I had those pictures on my social media, and she had blocked me everywhere.
Oh, yeah, that's
And-
right.
And
those
Keg-
are the good. Those
for
are the good exes.
commenting.
Yes.
Those are the good exes.
Yes,
They block
those are
you
the-
immediately.
Yes, good. Yeah.
She blocked him for a reason, not because she wanted him out of her life.
because I was trolling her.
Right.
I was trolling
Yeah.
pictures of her new man and like calling her ugly.
Yeah, that.
I
Yeah,
love that part of you, Squid.
I was calling her new man ugly.
He was
and it was great.
harassing her.
Yeah, I like
her
that.
him. Yeah, both. yeah.
Whatever.
Anyways,
Hold on,
anyways.
can we just go back to that real quick?
What?
So people that are new to the show.
Yeah.
You broke up with this girl and you're with her for how long?
3 years.
Okay, and she
Yes.
got a new man and was posting on social media.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you started doing what?
I started commenting for the first picture she posted, and I was like, I know you moved on, but damn, he's ugly. and And then so I would
that
see,
sounds so desperate.
and then she would delete it. I would go see, and she would delete it, and I would comment again, and I kept refreshing Instagram and to make sure the post was there. And then she texted me to chill out, and I'm like, no, and then she blocked me on everything.
Yeah.
And so
was he
are the
ugly?
ones. Was he ugly?
no problem. He was taller than me, more handsome than me. I was just completely talking out of spite.
I guess.
But I
They
mean,
think women are
She
crazy.
broke up with you, right?
yeah, she did. Yeah, she did.
You were bitter about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
dudes can be
100%,
crazy.
yeah.
I know, but it's always the women who are like, they're psycho. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that behavior.
We have like a
That is
moment.
way
It's just
more
a little
common.
troll. It's
We have
just
a
little
moment,
troll.
No.
once or twice a
That's
year.
exactly what happens. It's like, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I get it. No, that's just a psycho.
Yes, I was being a psycho.
I love
yes.
it, though. I love it.
Yeah, and I apologize down the road for that. But so yeah, so
He's healed.
yeah.
Right.
So Kextan, my most recent girlfriend, really wanted to see pictures of her because she was like, I gotta make sure I'm more prettier. And
More prettier.
yeah, she wanted to be prettier, and she wasn't as pretty. I'm like, just straight up wasn't as pretty. If we're being completely honest. And so that was one night.
Did you say that to her face?
No,
or-
I never told her
Okay,
that.
okay.
I always said no. I always said that. Oh no. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
We want
Yeah, you can
honesty.
say it
I'm just
now.
being honest. I can say it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I went out
that's
one.
mean.
Well, I went out with our whole friend group went out one night, and then my current girlfriend Kextan said she was too tired, didn't want to come out. And by the grace of God, thank you, she didn't, because I ran into my ex that night. And had she met her, like, I have no idea what would have happened. But we just had a quick hey, caught up for maybe a minute or two, and there was nothing significant. But I knew if my current girlfriend Kextan met her, she would have a lot of insecurity. I knew she would.
But
I knew she
that's
would.
the best situation because then
For him.
yes, for
Right,
Squid,
right.
because then if you're the whole time Squid saying that his ex-girlfriend is not as good looking as his current girlfriend Kextan, and then all of a sudden Kextan, his girlfriend's with her and sees, wait a minute, this girl's smoking hot. A subliminal type message goes out. It's like, you see who I can get? You better
Yeah.
shape up.
Jason's actually, I think,
Keep in check with that.
Not
Is
that part.
true?
Not
I mean,
that part.
but that
The-
subliminal or like kind of like the
Well, it's
Yeah.
an ego boost for Squid. Most normal people end there, where they just take the ego boost, not the she better shape up.
No, I did
That
not,
part I don't agree
did
with.
not say that. I said
Yes, you
that
did.
she has to think.
oh.
Squid's not saying she has to shape up, but it makes the girl think, I better shape up because
Oh.
look at what my current boyfriend can actually get, who's even hotter. And the whole time you're saying, so you're under promising. It's a perfect situation. I love it which is very rare, and it's only happened with a couple guys sometimes when some guy goes, wow, you are good looking or something. And Carol hears that. I'm like, you see, I could be gay if I wanted.
See what you could be missing?
Guys do want me.
And this is an awkward situation. I remember Anna, when I was dating her, she met Kelly.
Oh yeah,
And it was
your ex-wife,
my
second
ex-wife,
ex-wife,
Kelly.
second
Yeah,
ex-wife.
You don't have to say second.
Well, because I
No,
gotta keep it straight.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, and it was a thing, and she was helping. Anyway, and from that point forward, Kelly was like, so what are you and Boobs doing? What are you and Boobs doing?
Oh.
Because she has big boobs. And I'm just like, what, is that a diss?
It's not a diss.
Is that a
It's not a
diss?
diss.
Yeah.
I just
Not
thought
a
it was
diss.
like odd. Like she has a name, but that's fine. You want to call her Boobs?
Well, that's what you called
No,
her
I
secretly
would
behind her
change it.
back. So I mean, what is she
I
supposed
mean,
to
in my
call her?
mind, I'm like,
Right.
boobs.
That's what she was saving your
No,
phone
it's
as.
like, you know what I mean? It's like kind of like,
Yeah.
okay.
It's all insecurity. Every single
Right.
bit of it. Every single bit of all of our stories are
yeah.
insecurity.
Oh yeah.
It
definitely.
is.
I don't care about any of my wife's exes.
Oh, you're a liar.
Please.
I do not.
Yeah, right.
I don't.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
If they were in this area and you ran into them, I think you would hate it.
Yep. You're lucky that they're not.
I've looked them all up, and I feel like I'm doing a little bit better, so I'm cool with
The
that.
fact that you've looked them all up is your insecurity.
Okay, maybe financially.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know,
Did she date anyone shorter than you? Or are they all
one
taller?
guy was pretty short.
Oh.
Did she date anybody that was mature? Because you're not.
That's rude.
Did she date anyone that didn't have an ankle monitor? Because I know you don't have one, so that's a
How was their credit score?
Yeah.
Did they have a 401k?
I don't
Because
think
you
so.
do.
Do they talk nonstop about mutual funds?
Yeah. Are they as financially savvy as you? Stick it to them, Jason.
Jason's like, I am better.
Are they trying to open a barcade for 4 years in a row? I don't think so.
Actually, no, that guy does have restaurants now.
Oh,
of his own.
right. Okay. Well, we don't mention
It's
him.
fine.
And I bet he doesn't have issues with the ABC.
in Coonersville. The city of Coonersville.
Are all of her exes good spellers? Because you're not.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll be honest. Every ex bothers me because I don't
like
care
to
who
think
they are.
about
I don't
it.
think about it at all.
I don't like to think
Even if
about
they're
it.
worse, I mean, when they're worse looking, which is rare, then I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, you feel a little bit better about it. But still, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't feel like this existed for our parents. I mean,
No.
it did, but it didn't because for
Only
my
if you're in a
parents,
small town.
if you're in a small town, yes. But my parents were all over, you know,
Yep.
like the place, and they moved and the whole
Yep.
thing. And then also they didn't have social media, so there was no keeping up.
Right.
You know, there was none of that existed for them. And as I've been married now 10 years. It does get a little bit easier where like I don't think about it. But when you're dating and then you're newly married, of course that's in your
Absolutely.
mind. But now it's like,
And now you see
Yeah.
the person, they look a little off. You're like, ooh, it looks like your ex has a drug problem.
You're like, yeah, I knew it. I knew
Yeah,
it.
thank goodness you didn't go down that path. Look at me.
do you ever look back at all the bullets that you've dodged? And you're just like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
thank God.
I didn't dodge any
Ooh,
bullets.
Oh, well, that's true.
You got hit by all of them.
Jared
Take it
jumped in
all.
front
I'm
of
like
them.
50 Cent. I got hit by 7 or 9.
But he's
No.
still living, boy. He's still living.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
I'm barely. I'm on these streets. I'm on these streets trying to live.
Thug life. Thug life.
You got a house for now.
That's it.
I've had houses stolen before, so that's fun. It reminds me I go to court tomorrow. Anyway,
Yeah, you do. That'd be great.
I'll drink to that.
yeah. What do you call a ban? A ban is how much?
A what?
$1,000.
1,000.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pushing 50 bands on this divorce.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my God.
50 racks, if you will.
Yeah.
50 racks, man.
But you can like turn that.
Racks on racks.
Getting that
Rack
D,
City,
boy.
boy. Yeah.
Wait, did I say I'm getting that D? What am I saying?
We don't know.
Katie, what were you gonna
Turn
say?
it into a flex. Be like, I had a $50,000 extra to spend on a divorce. Now it was in a loan
Right.
that I got to pay
Loan.
back with a lot of interest.
It was in the one
But-
thing they say don't do, get a 401k loan,
Yeah.
but it's pretty cool.
Mention
But I
that.
got approved.
Yeah, I don't approve all that.
Just
I got
You do get,
omit that
everybody
part.
does by law.
50 racks, 50 bands.
50
boy.
racks.
What you know about them 50 bands?
Jared's walking to work tomorrow because they took his car. But
Right.
it's fine.
I'm like, I can't afford an Uber. All right. Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah.